Hey guys, today this is a deck review. I'm going to be reviewing stud playing cards. I bought these from Walgreens for $2.29. One of them is sealed and one of them is I opened. They actually don't come in plastic, they just come sealed, as you can see. So for today we're just going to be reviewing the red one. The blue one is the exact same except in blue. So let's get into the box. In the box it says in nice big letters stud, with a horse on top of that. If you can see, that's a horse, so for a heads up, I'll tell you that they are incorporating horses in this deck. On top of that it says it has a ace 10 through ace of spades, which is a royal flush, and these cards have a linen finish. It says finest quality as well. So a linen finish, I'm not too familiar with that finish, and made in the USA, as you can see. Easy to shuffle poker playing cards. One side says stud playing cards, and another side says distributed by Walgreens Company, Deerfield, Illinois. These are made by the U.S. Playing Card Company with the seal. The back of the box is simply the backs of the cards. I'm only going to be reviewing the red one. That's the only one that I opened. These cards are a pretty cheap deck with pretty nice quality to it. They have a thin stock, a really thin stock, and these are the backs of the cards. Pretty nice. I like them. And once you open them, you will get your two jokers, of course, which are actually pretty ugly, I would say. I'll give you a quick look at that. It has the horse again. Like I said, they are going to incorporate horses in this deck. And as well, with the ace of spades, they are incorporating horses, as you can see. So, like I said, this deck has a linen finish, and actually, I got a deck from the dollar store once, which claimed that it had a linen finish, but I would say these are really, really, really bad cards. Let me show you a quick look. Here, these cards, they say they have a linen finish, and when you open them, you can see they fan horribly. You can barely spread through the cards. But according to the studs, I guess the linen finish is a good finish, because the linen finish affects the deck very much. As you can see, they fan very nicely. Not the best cards that you could possibly get for fanning. And I would also mention that originally, when you buy this deck, they will not be as good. You must work them in. You must. Because when I originally got them, they didn't fan as well as they did. They still fanned pretty well, but they didn't fan as well as they did. And of course you got a couple of ad cards referring to Walgreens as well, which means that this is definitely a Walgreens product. The faces of the cards are, especially the court cards, they're very ugly, I would say. I don't like them. There's a jack of spades, queen of spades, queen of spades. The queens kind of look like men. King of spades. I don't like the court cards, but they dribble nicely. They feel nice for dribbles. as you can see. Fanning as well. And spreads. And also, one thing that I would say is that compared to a bicycle or a tally-ho deck, the white border around these cards are pretty large. I find that they are pretty large when you spread them. They look pretty large borders. As well, in fans, you don't really get some of the red, you mostly get the white part of the deck. Other than that, this deck is a cheap deck for pretty nice quality, a nice finish on them. As you can see, not the worst cards. These are definitely a deck that you would want to get, but don't buy a lot of these. Just buy a couple, sometimes to practice Magic with. They shuffle nicely and feel pretty nice for cuts. I think this is all for the stud deck. I hope this helps. Thanks a lot. This is Mr. Mike Productions. I'll see you again with the next deck review.